Right then guys, New York, Manhattan, and yeah, 23rd Street. I'm going to nip down into the subway in a minute. I'm going to catch line E, which will take me to Jamaica, where I'm going to change for the train, which will take me to JFK eventually. So yeah, tonight, flights back to the UK, London Heathrow with Virgin Atlantic in upper class, so I'm really looking forward to this. Seat 1A, by the way. So you can't get much better than that, can you, on their A350? So yeah, join me for this trip. It's going to be amazing, and I can feel it. I'm looking forward to getting back now, to be honest. Yeah, blue skies. We won't be taking off until it gets dark, unfortunately, but I'll show you some of the inside of the plane and a little bit about the airport as well. I'll see you at the airport, and as always, cheers for now. Okay, well, it was pretty easy getting to JFK from downtown Manhattan, although I was standing at the wrong entrance to the subway when I shot the intro. I don't know if anybody noticed that. But yeah, it was just a quick trip on the E-line to Jamaica Station, where for an extra $8 you connect with the air train, which takes you all the way to JFK and Terminal 4, where the majority of Virgin Atlantic's flights arrive and depart from. And some great views of the airport from the air train too. Yeah, I really enjoyed that bit. Using the priority lane for check-in, I was completely ignored by the member of staff at the counter, which it wasn't a great first impression, to be honest. But another guy checking in the economy passengers called me over, and he was great, telling me where to find the fast track through security and the lounge facilities available. Now, once airside, I got a bit distracted by one shop in particular, but the prices, wow! Well, I had to have a bit of a sit down after that and figure out what to do next. Right guys, airside at JFK Terminal 4, and I've just got to find the lounge, which I believe is just down there. I think I'm suitably dressed for the occasion. I got a bit waylaid in the Lego store just round the corner, but I intend to go in there now, and I am about 4 hours before departure, so I certainly intend to make the most of it. Let's go and see what it's like, shall we? I reached the lounge, and yeah, again, I didn't have a particularly friendly welcome at the front desk. However, the experience thereafter was really good. The first stop for me was a shower. Just get rid of some of that New York City grime, I thought. Okay guys, in Virgin Clubhouse, JFK, just had a shower actually, which was really nice and really welcome as well, isn't it? Especially when you've been on the subway for an hour. Yeah, look at this line. There's more Lego stuff there for you. Anyway, I'm going to make myself look decent and head back out and get some lunch, I think. I'll catch you in a bit. Right then guys, so yeah, just had a shower and freshened up, which was great. And ordered some food, potato skins for starter and the salmon for lunch. And a glass of champagne, and a glass of Sauvignon Blanc, I think. I can't remember now. So we'll see what turns up, shall we? And it's reasonably quiet in here at the moment, so it's not too bad at all. And there's the bar there. The pool table's just opposite me. We'll have a game of that in a bit. And it's not too bad. I wouldn't say the welcome was that great, to be honest, but maybe that's a New York thing. But yeah, we'll see how it goes, Rory, and I'll let you know in a bit. Yeah, so I tried to have a go with the iconic pool table, but there were no balls or cues available. In any case, a rather large family had decided to park all their baggage and pushchairs around it. It was a bit inconsiderate, wasn't it? And I must say, despite a bit of a frosty welcome, the staff inside the lounge were excellent. I had a nice chat with Clementine, who I assumed was the lounge manager, about aircraft seating configurations, as you do. And just to confirm, I had a single potato skin starter, which was a bit small, even for a small plate really. That was followed by the roasted salmon and quinoa, which was excellent. To drink, I started with a glass of champagne, Nicholas Fluarte, and apologies for the pronunciation there, and a couple of glasses of 2021 Villa Maria Private Bin Sauvignon Blanc. I had the cheese plate to finish. By this point, I'd been here for over 2 hours. I did think about pacing myself, but then I decided to have a mojito. This was excellent actually, really fresh. Now the sun set over the ramp, and our aircraft for tonight's trip over the Atlantic approached the gates, a GVPOP. A 3.5-year-old Airbus A350-1000, mamma mia. We were soon called to board, and it was only a quick walk to gate A7, just down the stairs really, and into the priority boarding queue. A nice friendly welcome by the flight attendants, and I stepped into the pink glow of the cabin. Check out the mug of tea here, by the way. Yeah, Virgin actually do their tea in proper mugs, don't you know? I made my way to my seat 1A tonight, which was nice, wasn't it? And first impressions were, yeah, very homely, I thought. That's my iPad behind the pillow, by the way. The pink hue of the cabin gives everything a very warm, cosy and relaxing feel, I think. What do you reckon? I'm assuming it's the same for all classes of travel, by the way. And the pilot informed us that it would take just 5 hours and 36 minutes to reach London tonight, a very fast flight time. Too early, in fact, to be able to use London Heathrow because, from what I understand, it wouldn't actually open until 6 o'clock in the morning. Correct me if I'm wrong on this, but yeah, as a result, we had to wait at the gate until 19:15. Well, anyway, it gave me time to check out my seat, didn't it? And yeah, enjoy another glass of champagne before takeoff. So yeah, the seats laid out in a 1-2-1 configuration are, as you would expect, totally lie flat, and all adjustments are controlled by these buttons on the side here.
If a crew member asks you not to use your camera or mobile device to take photos or video,
the table pops out and extends to the left like so, and you also get a can of still water in the cubby hole behind it.
If you have any questions, please just otherwise.
Above the seat are the usual air vents and reading lights, and there is plenty of legroom, as you would expect.
Once you put everything away, please take the seat shown on your boarding pass to help you exit the miles clear. There are a few empty.
The Virgin Atlantic supplied blankets and pyjamas for this flight, which were very welcome indeed. And the amenity kit is supplied with various lotions and useful bits and pieces, as you can see here. To be honest, I'm not going to go into great detail about the seat because there are hundreds of more extensive reviews already available online. And I'm just going to tell you about my experience so that you can see it from my perspective as a first-time user of the Virgin Atlantic upper class product, and not somebody who flies extensively in business or first-class cabins. I neither have the money or the time to do that kind of thing. Yet, anyway. So we pushed back from the gate at 19:23 and headed out towards the runway. Enjoy the takeoff, well, what you can see of it anyway, and I'll speak to you again in the cruise. Okay, so a very nice flight attendant named Lionel came around taking orders for dinner. I went for the slow-cooked pork shoulder with potato, swede and Savoy cabbage gratin, bacon-wrapped green beans and a creamy mushroom sauce, which was very nice. This was accompanied by a glass of Italian red. Yes, I did steal the salt and pepper set, by the way, but I did ask if I could steal it first, to be fair. And then for dessert, I had the crumble-topped apple and vanilla cheesecake. And I finished everything. Then I nipped down to the upper-class social space, where I just had to try the Ruby Slipper cocktail. And I had a great chat with one of the flight attendants about potential future routes. We were both hoping that they would start flying to Seoul, by the way. After that, I checked out the toilet. Now, this was actually one massive negative on this flight. A reason why was because 3 out of the 4 toilets at the front of the aircraft were out of order, and the one that was working didn't have any water. There was a note asking people to use hand sanitizer, but this was totally unacceptable, whichever class of travel you're flying in, let alone upper class. Yeah, there was obviously an issue with this particular flight, and I wouldn't expect it to be a common occurrence at all, but yeah, please let me know what you think in the comments below. Anyway, because I'm such an amateur when it comes to overnight transatlantic flights, man, I'd got a bit carried away with enjoying the Virgin Atlantic hospitality. By the time I got the seat into its lie flat position, I reckon I probably only had about an hour and a half sleep, if that. I woke up to a lovely bowl of fruit and a bacon roll, plus some juice, and yep, there's that mug of tea again. Very welcome, but I've got to say I was still pretty tired at this point. Heading over South Wales now, and we were just starting our descent into London Heathrow. Now obviously everything was still dark at this point, and this remained the case throughout, but I did enjoy watching the bright lights of the capital both outside the window and on the in-flight entertainment screen. And as you can see, this aircraft was fitted with external cameras, so I thought I'd give you a different perspective on the landing this time, from the underside camera as we headed straight into runway 27R. Pretty cool that, I thought. The camera actually gives a totally different take on the landing, doesn't it? Plus you can see if anything's going wrong, I guess. Anyway, price I paid for this flight, well, it was included as part of my earlier trip out from Edinburgh to New York and then on to Boston in economy. All booked with Delta. Total cost was $1,291.67. Fairly reasonable? Well, let me know what you think. Would you go out in economy on the day and then back in business at night, or would you prefer to do it the other way around? Well, I didn't know it at the time, but yeah, I reckon it took me about a week to get over this flight. Like I said before, I'm certainly no expert when it comes to these red-eye flights, so yeah, if anyone's got any tips, then please let me know. Thank you very much. See you. Thank you. Bye-bye. We had a slight delay at the gate, but we were soon off the aircraft and down the jet bridge. I was feeling really tired at this point. I was looking forward to another shower and some more breakfast in the Virgin Arrivals Lounge, which is just off the Arrivals Hall in Terminal 3. After my shower, I just slumped back in my chair whilst attempting to eat 2 large croissants, but in reality I've just made a massive mess all over the table. I did stay awake just about long enough to summarise my thoughts on the flight before heading for the underground to make the long journey back to Shrewsbury and my bed. Right then guys, Virgin Revivals Lounge in Terminal 3, London Heathrow. Just come off the flight from JFK. It was a pretty good flight, really. I'll tell you what, it went really quick. About 5 hours and 37 minutes, the flight deck announced, but we did have to hold a little bit on approach to London. So the delay just, but we got in around about 6:15, 6:20 in the morning. Yeah, overall, pretty good. I was quite impressed, especially with the crew, and the aircraft was great too. So anyway, I'm pretty tired now. Just had another shower, but I'll be heading back home to Shrewsbury soon. Thank you very much for watching, and join me on another adventure soon. As always, guys, cheers for now.